Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Oh, come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Sorry, I went too early. I saw your hand, my bad. Okay, let's do this. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a wonder-filled Wednesday. You know it's wonder-filled when I got theater folks in the building, so I'm so excited that Franklin Johnson is joining me today. We're going to be talking about his role in Detroit 67, put on by Acts on Stage. So y'all know I'm going to geek out about theater stuff, and I'm excited when I get to do that, but I'm also excited that you're joining us as well. This is the perfect time to share this show with others who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness we give you on the Day with Trae. Of course, if you can't watch us, you can always listen to us. Just look for Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. Anywhere you find your favorite podcast will be there. Now, before I get into it with Franklin here, I get to share a little bit of my insight for Chicago that is happening right now at Fifth Avenue Theater. And let me tell you, Chicago is a classic musical. I learned so much about it through their new program, Show Talks, and it's actually a revival of something they've been doing for a long time, but I have the pleasure of hosting Show Talks for their 2025-2026 season, and Chicago was the first one we got to talk about. You know, I got to give a shout out to all dramaturgy departments at all theaters who really dig into the history of the piece that they're working on, of the production. And there was so much to learn, not only about the origin of the musical Chicago, but also about the Fosse style and Candor and Ebb and their musical composition, like their duo team, which was so fascinating in terms of the sound that they created that became iconic over time. But I just share with you that there are plenty of ways to get connected to our theaters, and Show Talks is a free opportunity for you to learn more about the shows that the Fifth Avenue Theater is putting on by hearing directly from folks who are involved either in the show or who have something really special to bring that are elements that then you get to look for when you're actually watching the production. So I was really excited because, of course, I learned about Chicago as a young person when it was a movie, right? When it became the movie, that's when I knew about Chicago. But to understand this history of it, when it was first produced way back in the days, and then kind of really reproduced again, and has been one of the longest running Broadway shows in Broadway's history, y'all. So it's incredible the fact that this show has taken on such a life of its own, that people and fans from all around the world know the music, love the song, and enjoy the story, which was actually founded because there was a lot of women murdering their lovers in Chicago at a very specific time. And the reporter who was covering these stories began to bring them out to life in this way. Who would have known, right? So I'm just excited anytime I can talk about theater. And y'all know I'm going to be excited because up next, we got Franklin in the building. We're going to be talking all things Detroit 67, y'all. You definitely don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Black caregivers, entrepreneurs, and elders, this one's for you. Queen Care is offering complimentary self-care services to those who give so much to their communities. Take a moment to restore, recharge, and be cared for with free wellness treatments at the Spa House by Queen Care. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Go to queencareproducts.com now to sign up or scan the QR code on your screen because you deserve the same care you give to others.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got Franklin in the building. Hi, Franklin.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tired, but I'm well.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here because I love to dive into shows. And so I'm excited to see Detroit 67. Tell us about your beginnings as an actor. What made you say, I think I can kind of do this?
I still don't know if I can really do it. But I was probably like 15, 16. I've known Michelle Lang Raymond for a long time. When she was Michelle Lang, met her when I was 10, and I'm 45 now. So she started a theater company called Heart and Soul Productions, and so I had the opportunity to be in Heart and Soul Productions for a few years. Came back from college and attempted to do it again, and then started living life as an adult. And years down the road, she started Acts on Stage and decided to audition for their first show during COVID for 12 Angry Men, and it was a really cool experience. Of course, we were during COVID, so we had no audience, so that was cool, doing everything, in front of a camera, messing up, doing it over again, messing up, doing it over again, and then I kind of took a break for a while, another few years, and then auditioned for Sadie's Kitchen and got a small role in that, and that was my first time in front of people in years doing something. So that was a whole new experience, and just decided to audition again, and here we are.
Wow. So tell us about the role you play in Detroit 67. What's the story about?
So the story is a fictional story set in a real time period. Summer of Detroit in '67, there were riots that occurred due to police raiding an illegal bar, and it sparked a civil rights riot, and it's about a brother and a sister who are operating a small club out of their basement to kind of make ends meet, make a little money, have some fun. And it's about her being set and doing it this way, her brother having a little bit more ambition and wanting to do a little bit more than just the small club, and the struggle between them wanting to do that. We get kind of infiltrated by another young lady that causes some issues in another area. But really it's a story of a lot of emotion, some happiness, some sadness, a little bit of everything.
Wow. And tell us about the role you're playing.
I am playing Lank. Langston goes by Lank. He is the brother with the ambition. He is wanting to kind of do more with his life. He has some goals and some dreams, probably a little over anxious, but it's not necessarily all about making the money. It's about doing something different, not being part of the norm. He loves his sister, and he loves what they have, but he wants to do more, and he wants to do it with her. She's not necessarily on board in all ways, and so he goes about it, not necessarily in the best way, but a lot more that happens. I don't want to spoil too much.
Well, you've already gotten us kind of hooked, right? Like, there's some great story here. We get to see this beautiful relationship between a brother and a sister, but we also are setting in that time, right, of this kind of police and community kind of conflict, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so you've set the tone well for us. What has it been like for you to get back on that stage after so long, and to be playing this kind of role that's going to be having these different emotional pulls?
Honestly, it is. If I'm being honest, it's really. It has made me really nervous. If I'm being honest, like I don't. I love theater, like as a spectator, and love it so much that it drew me to want to actually be on stage. But it's It's really nerve-wracking. I've talked about with some friends that I was appreciative of my role in the previous play because I didn't have to dig deep too much. I had a few lines. I was on stage, and then I'm off stage. I didn't have to learn a lot. I didn't have to stress out or any of that. And now this one, I've had to dig a little deeper. I've had to, pull out different emotions. I've had to really delve into a character that's not all me, but find me in them and pull some things out. I've stayed up, reading more lines and stressed out, and a few times I'm like, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this. Not because I don't want to do it, but because it has been hard. But I'm up for the challenge. And I've grown to love who the character is. I've grown to love, my castmates and what they bring and their energy as well. So I'm really excited to really show the community, what we're doing.
Well, it's beautiful because every time I get to have someone from Acts on Stage here, there's a certain way that they go about getting the best out of anyone they're working with.
Absolutely.
And you've experienced that from the Heart and Soul production. I mean, you're talking years ago, right?
Absolutely.
And so to understand that level of care in, guiding you to find that in this character, Lang. Tell us how it's been to kind of work with Isaiah in this way where, his guidance oftentimes comes with this level of love that really anchors how he connects with everyone that he's directing. Tell us a bit about that for you.
I honestly really appreciate him so much because one thing I've learned about him, he's not really a respecter of person. So if he thought somebody would fit better in a role, he'd choose that person.
Yeah.
And so, I feel honestly honored and blessed to be able to be in the position I am. And so I'm really good at listening to what he says because he is great at what he does in terms of how he sees a character, how he sees a scene, how he changes a scene. You're constantly scribbling out the previous notes because he'll do something and you're like, what is he doing? And then you realize, wow, it's way better than what his first vision was. But he is a great guide in terms of putting a play together and directing you. So really it is a matter of our hard work, but it also is a matter of listening and being open to change and being open to do something different and being open to even, to remember to get out of your own character and get out of your own way so that, the play comes together the way his vision wants it.
There's such beauty in that.
Indeed.
I see it as a mix of, like authenticity and vulnerability in ways that you don't always experience when you're pulling together a theatrical production. I really appreciate the level that Acts on Stage takes to connect with every individual so that character really shines through. And it's something that's special because we feel it in the audience. What are some of those things you're really wanting the audience to feel and get from, your performance and those of your castmates?
I do want you to, I think more than anything, actually just the word feel, I think is the most important thing. I think in watching this play, you're going to feel anger. You're going to feel some sadness. You are going to feel some happiness and joy. But more than anything, that you feel. That's really, for me at least, the goal is that you feel, so that it invokes questions and that it invokes hopefully change. It invokes conversation. That's also one of the things that I love about what Acts on Stage does. Every single production, it always invokes conversation at the end. I don't think I've ever been, whether I'm in the audience or whether I'm in the production, that there haven't been actual conversation after. I can't remember where we've left after 10 minutes. It's 20, 30 minutes of conversation before anyone leaves because there's so much that they've done on stage or that we've done on stage that invokes these conversations. So more than anything, I hope there's feel, and then from that, I hope it invokes conversation.
Beautiful. Well, Franklin, I'm glad that you decided to say, let me go ahead and try out again. Let me go ahead and come to this audition. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the stage. Of course, if folks are wanting to get their tickets and come support Detroit 67, let them know right there how they get tapped in.
Well, please go to axonstage.com. Show runs from November 14th through the 23rd. Also with a special pay as you can on Monday the 17th. So please come out and see us.
Wow. Franklin, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Wow, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. You know, when we have these plays taking place and these productions coming through in a way that is so authentic, I'm always going to encourage y'all to support our local theater. We need it. We have shows that tour all the time. You heard me talking about Chicago. Now I'm bigging up Detroit 67, y'all. You need to make sure you go to axonstage.com and get your tickets today. I'll wrap it all up right after this break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Getting the scholarship really changed the conversation. It went from, no, I can do school in my free time and make it work, to I could only focus on school and I could be the best I can be every single day. I can soak up everything. I can read before class and make sure I'm not just learning enough to pass a test. Like, I could really pour all my time into school. That's what having a Seattle College Foundation scholarship did for me.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. For tickets, visit pnb.org.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to give a huge shout out to Franklin for joining me today and for sharing so authentically, like vulnerably. Look, I'm a bit nervous, right? Like, it's been a bit stressful for me, but he is pushing through to bring this character to life in Detroit 67 at Axon Stage, November 14th. I got it. November 14th through the 23rd. Make sure you get your tickets, y'all. This is an opportunity that we have to support our local productions. And I will say that Acts on Stage does a phenomenal job of trying to make sure that people in the community know about this, but also of being consistent in their productions. And they're like, look, yes, we steward the Teen Summer Musical, but we do a bunch of other productions throughout the year. Let's continue to support them, y'all. Not only are they some folks that are really from this community and have been bringing their passion and their skill set to this community for generation, okay? Like a full generation, all right? Which is decades if y'all didn't know. But they also are, you know, folks who are curating this love of theater and blending it with faith in a way that is really, truly inspiring. And so I'm so blessed to know them and to be in community with them. And if you have yet to see a show at Acts on Stage, this is a perfect time for you to come on out during this fall season, get your tickets to Detroit 67, and go on this amazing journey that Franklin just gave us a snapshot of what we can expect to experience in the audience. So I'm encouraging you to get your tickets today. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I'll be back with you tomorrow. And until then, at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.